Hello and welcome to Bristol Sport TV from Ashton Gate's Sports Bar. In the next 10 minutes or so, we'll bring you up to speed on all of your favourite Bristol sporting teams. Plus, we have the celebrity chef Marco Pierre White cooking up a storm at the stadium. But first, as football, rugby and the Flyers all move towards the end of their respective seasons, Bristol Sport Racing roared back into life a couple of weekends ago with the start of the Porsche Carrera Cup GB. And I'm very pleased to say that our very own Dino Zamparelli is topping the leaderboard as they go into the second race of the series at the home of British Racing Silverstone this weekend. Dino, welcome. Thanks very much. Great to have you here, and what a fantastic start to the season for you on the podium both races.
Yeah, no, it was a really good start. Brands Hatch 2 weekends ago, as you said. We got a win in the first race and a second in race 2. 2 fastest laps, and we were right up there with last year's champion Dan Camish.
Now I know last season was terribly tough for you. You not only had to have the transition that you did from single-seater racing into Porsche Carrera Cup, completely different car, completely different format. And you made that dramatic decision towards the end of last season to change teams. That paid off because you ended up on the podium and got more points towards the end of the season than you had done all season. Yeah,
we changed at Silverstone last year, 2015. We had 2 rounds to go and, like you say, made the move to GT Marks, another team. And we knew that going into 2016, if we could continue with that team and continue that sort of chemistry, if you like, that mixture, that we'd have a good chance of being right up there. And it's certainly paid off at round 1. We had a couple of good things coming out of the race 1, but a couple of moments where we needed to improve on. So considering all that, considering we're not quite exactly where we want to be, I think that's it's a good start.
It's a good start to the season, as you say. Now talk us through, someone that's not familiar with the race format, talk us through what a Porsche Carrera Cup GB weekend looks like.
Well, like most races, we turn up on Friday and do a couple of practice sessions, 2 half-an hours, just to get ourselves sorted, just to make sure the car's working well, get back into the groove of the circuit. Qualifying is arguably the most important part of the weekend on Saturday morning. That determines where we are for the races in terms of starting position. And then the fastest lap in qualifying goes towards race 1, so I start hopefully right up there.
Hopefully at the front.
Hopefully right at the front, yeah. And then race 2, the second fastest lap from qualifying. So we've got 2 races usually on Sunday, which means a lot of waiting around on the afternoon on Saturday. But that means we get a chance to really debrief, really understand what the car's doing, look at how it's working, and try and plug it all in for Sunday's 2 races. What
does your heart rate get to? I mean, you must be wearing monitors all the way through a race. How does it compare with, say, one of our footballers or our rugby players? What does your heart rate go between? Well,
at the start of a race, we usually build up to about 180 beats per minute, which is probably similar to what a footballer would do, sprinting up and down, yeah. So at the start of the race, we're really pumping. And obviously that's where fitness comes into it a lot, is that the fitter I am, the more I'm able to process that information at the start. You know, there's so many things and elements at the start. There's the lights, there's the crowd, there's the team, there's the guy next to you looking at the lights. Everything, it all builds up, the engine notes are rising. You know, you've got to stay quite chilled. And then the actual procedure on the clutch and the power is quite difficult. So it's important to make sure that you get a good launch, because obviously you know that if you get a bad launch, you could fall back to 6th or 7th if you're starting on the front, and then it's curtains from there.
And just finally, for those watching that want to come along and watch, obviously it is on ITV4 as well, so they can watch it on the telly, but if people wanted to come to a race, how do they get to come and get involved?
Well, as you say, it's live on ITV4 firstly, so it's got great coverage on a Sunday. And then the other side is actually coming and watching and supporting the Bristol Sport Racing car.
And there is nothing like actually being at a racetrack, is it? Because it is quite a feeling.
Yeah, no, it's one of those sports where you have to see it, feel it, touch it, sense it, smell it. You know, you've got all the smells and sounds and everything. And being there on race day, there's nothing quite like it, like you say. So through Bristol Sport Racing, through our team here at Ashton Gate, we've always got, you know, offers and tickets and all sorts of ways of getting to races. So just get in contact really through Bristol Sport Racing, and we'd be delighted to see you at a circuit.
All right, well, best of luck for this weekend. We will all be watching, not holding our breaths, because we know you will be on the podium. Let's hope so. Thanks very much, Dino. Now to football, and Bristol City took a huge step in securing their place in the Championship for next season after thrashing Sheffield Wednesday 4-1 at Ashton Gate on Saturday. The victory moved City 10 points clear of the drop zone with 5 games left to play, and another win at Brentford this weekend could be enough to confirm survival. However, City head coach Lee Johnson is taking nothing for granted and insists he is intent on looking up the table.
That will certainly be mentioned to the players because they want to do that as well, and it's not a case of it coming from me. all the time. It's actually coming from them, and I think that's the real positive. The players are hungry to do that themselves, because they probably feel at times this season they have underachieved a little bit, and they want to show what they're about as individuals and as a team.
And a reminder that the away end at Brentford is sold out, so the match is going to be beamed back here to the Sports Bar and Grill. Doors open at 11 AM and entry is on a first come, first served basis, so do get down here early to avoid disappointment. Now, as if we were ever in any doubt that our fans are the very best fans, young Oskar Pycroft has been nominated for Supporter of the Year. On Sunday evening, he's going to be heading up to Manchester with his mum and Wade Elliott for the Glitzy Football League Awards. An amazing fan, and fingers crossed that he brings it back to Bristol. Now, on the subject of our supporters, we're now halfway through our early bird season card sales, and there has been a brilliant response so far, with numbers already ahead of this time last season.
Over 80% have already renewed, and we're only 15 days into the campaign, which ends on April 29th. So the demand has been superb. When you consider that there's going to be 19,000 seats on sale for Bristol City home fans, when you take the away out, and we're not going to open the upper tier to start with, and over 10,000 Bristol City season cards have already been sold. It just shows the interest here, and ultimately Bristol Rugby are 60% ahead as well. And they're bidding for their place in the Premiership next year as they enter the playoffs. So we're in a good space, and we're really looking forward to seeing what those numbers look like at deadline on April the 29th.
Now to basketball, and the Flyers faced a pair of must-win games at the weekend to keep their playoff hopes alive. On Saturday, they took on the Worcester Wolves at SGS Wise Arena before heading down the M5 less than 24 hours later to take on the Plymouth Raiders, as Joel Osborne reports.
With just 2 weeks left in the BBL regular season, the Flyers hosted Worcester Wolves at the SGS Wise Arena on Saturday night. Tyrone Lee got the hosts off to a hot start, sparking a 14-2 run in the first period with this incredible shot from behind the backboard. The lead would stretch to double digits through a pair of threes from Doug McLaughlin-Williams, who scored 9 points in the first 10 minutes. But Worcester took a 10-point lead of their own in the fourth quarter, as Flyers' playoff hopes ended in defeat, 77 points to 82.
It's tough for all of us, We're a winning club. In 12 years I've been here, this is going to be the first time that we haven't made the playoffs in any level that we've been. So that hurts. It hurts with the guys, it hurts me. So, but sometimes things have to go bad before they go good, and we're going through this process. It's been a tough second year for us in the league, but I really believe in our team. I really believe in what we do here, and I think we're going to be stronger for it in the future.
Well, the team certainly were stronger on Sunday, as Greg Street cemented his place in BBL's Team of the Week with a season-high 30 points in a 78-70 victory over South West rivals Plymouth Raiders. Don't forget, this Saturday is the final home game of the season against London Lions. Tip-off is at 7:30, and we'll be offering 30% off all Flyers retail for just one night only. The game is completely sold out.
Well, Bristol Rugby returned to action on Friday night here at Ashton Gate for their last home game of the regular season, and Andy Robinson says the squad is right where it needs to be heading into the final few games.
The main thing is to focus on the next job, and that's Moseley, and to deal with Moseley. We've got lots of things that we want to improve on, and we're constantly working on those areas. And the thing about rugby is finding a rhythm, and now it's important for us to find our rhythm in attack, find our rhythm in defence, and so the boys keep enjoying playing together, because you've seen that throughout. They've been put under pressure at times, but they found answers, and that's the key to winning rugby, is that it's not always going to go perfectly, and you're going to be challenged by different opposition, different conditions, different referees, and you've got to find ways of winning games, and we've been able to do that in the Championship this year.
And just a reminder, tickets are available for that game against Moseley on Friday evening under the floodlights. Go to our website to find out more. Plus, on the site you can find out all the details you need to know about supporting Bristol in their playoffs semi-final, that home leg on Sunday, May the 8th. Well, to women's rugby now, and Bristol Rugby Ladies have been doing us proud at the World Rugby Sevens series as Amy Wilson-Hardy and Abby Brown both helped England to a 26-14 victory over Canada in Atlanta in the third leg of that series. Amy now leading point scorer across the series today, and their next game is against Ireland in Langford, Canada on Saturday. Now, some of our younger fans might still be on their Easter break, but we had an extra special event here at Ashton Gate last week. Here's Georgia Stone with more.
Under 12 junior members, season ticket holders and 7 members enjoyed an Easter egg hunt around Ashton Gate and even had the chance to meet some special Bristol Sport guests along the way. Bristol Rugby's Charlie Amesbury and Andy Wren were there to meet them at the kicking station. They then followed the clues to find the Bristol Flyers for some shooting practice. Finally, more than 150 children made their way into the Bristol City changing rooms to meet Mark Little and Lee Tomlin, but of course, most importantly, to collect their Easter eggs, which some just couldn't wait to crack open.
It's really good, and I didn't expect meeting that much players. We got to see all Little and Tomlin, and we got an egg. Well, pretty much amazing.
The next junior event will be a summer party, so make sure you keep your eyes on the Bristol Sport website for all the details.
Well, the concourse was transformed into a slightly more grown-up affair on Tuesday as we welcomed the celebrity chef Marco Pierre White to the stadium as part of a food and drink conference. Despite having his own restaurant at Stamford Bridge, he was keen though to stress he isn't just a Chelsea fan.
It's very nice to be here. I'm a football supporter in the true sense that I like all teams. I like watching a good game. I've never been here yet, but I've never been invited.
You are officially invited.
Can I have it in writing?
I'll put it in writing
after this.
Tell
your chairman I will come and sit with him.
We'll get you back to Ashton Gate soon.
You promise?
I promise.
You better. I'll be really upset. If you make a promise in life, you must always deliver it. Thank you very much.
Now, speaking of celebrities, the Big Sports Breakfast returns at the end of this month, and on April the 29th, to coincide with the Hollywood film Eddie the Eagle, we've got the man himself coming here to Ashton Gate. Yes, Eddie the Eagle Edwards will be here talking through his journey from GB's first Olympic legend to Hollywood stardom. Book your place, go to the website and find out all the details. We'll look forward to seeing you here. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Best of luck to all of our teams this weekend. Hope you've enjoyed the programme, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you never miss a minute of the action. In the meantime, have a great weekend of Bristol Sport.